how y'all feel? Cause I feel so awesome. How you feel? Awesome. I guess that's awesome. You fine and your awesome. Wanna roll awesome. Let's go. Yeah, hands in the skyline. AWE. Some call me awesome. Some call me busy. Call me awesome. Gator on my shirt.
It's an All-Eastern Conference appearance. center this time for the traveling New York Knicks. We are in Indiana for some Pacers basketball. This hometown crowd ready to go. Just loosen that belt and let the tryptophan take over, baby, as we bring you some NBA action on this Thanksgiving Day. Gobble, gobble! Now let's check out the State Farm starting lineups. First for the New York Knicks. Charles Oakley out there with Ewing. Then it's Wilkins. Then there's Jackson. And for the Pacers, Miller is out there with Williams. Then there's Person. Then it's Schrempf.
You know, when you think about the history between the Pacers and the Knicks, I mean, back in the 90s, this was one of the most combustible and compelling rivalries in league history.
And the Pacers start off with the ball.
Turnover. Pacers ball.
Here's Williams. Here's Person. Let's go. The shot by Williams, no good. We're talking about that classic rivalry, the Knicks and the Pacers, in an era where physical play was the rule rather than the exception. The battles between these two teams could really get ugly.
Yeah, remember some of those days, Charles Oakley and the Davis boys, Rick Smits, Ewing. Those are some great battles. And, of course, Indiana and New York City, both basketball hotbeds. So just kind of a natural rivalry. Love to see that one get going again.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Guys, I spoke with the head coach of the Pacers. He loves this matchup and believes this game presents them with a great chance for an offensive explosion. I think our strengths offensively could pose major problems for them. We'll find out, Kevin.
Wonderful stuff, Doris. Thanks. The early game plan, Clark, centered around their offense, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I think that's fine as long as they don't sacrifice anything from an effort standpoint at the defensive end.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the strategy, guys, because when you get off to a good start offensively, you feel good about yourselves, and generally that energy carries over to the defensive end as well.
Now the Pacers with it. Here's Schrempf. Money on the 10-footer. Schrempf's got the game going here with the first basket for the Pacers. Miller against Jackson. Wilkins against Miller. The leaner inside. Oakley kicks to Jackson. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Ewing. Another miss by Ewing.
Now you had a defender draped all over him. Not really the best shot there.
Well, not the shot you hope for when it's well contested like that.
Now, here is Oakley. Out of bounds. They'll keep possession. And so here is New York. Still without a basket in the game. Now here's Ewing. Outside Wilkins. The 3. They're moving it around. McDaniel. He's covered by Person. That is good. And this game is tied up now. Here's Williams.
Well, a great turnaround year for the Knicks a season ago, and it helped that they were in the Eastern Conference. They won 28 games against Eastern opponents.
Now here's Ewing. Wilkins passes to Jackson. Wilkins kicks to Ewing. Nails the wide-open jump shot. Back to the Knicks, Clark. Those wins were part of why they were able to get back into the playoffs. They were very, very important in the East.
Yeah, they were, and they played well against Eastern Conference teams, but they also did a nice job in interconference play as they put up the most points of any Eastern team by a large margin.
Well, the Pacers historically have always been tough on their home court, and last season was no different. 24-17 in Indianapolis. It's one of the reasons the Pacers made the playoffs.
The first one falls. Well, Clark, you know all about this Indiana team being in their front office. Dead last in attendance last season, averaging just a little over 13,000 fans. But The team gave the diehard fans something to care about with the playoff experience.
Yeah, they certainly did, and hopefully that'll catapult more fans into coming back to Conseco. In 2001, the team averaged almost 18,000 fans. If the team gets back to contention, you know Indiana loves basketball, and those fans will be back.
And took a gamble there to try to disrupt that pass.
Yeah, he couldn't quite get a hold of it, but still a nice play.
Poke loose. Person gets the reach-in call. That's his first foul. Davis is checked in for the Pacers.
First personal foul, team's first. Checking in for your Pacers.
1:33 left in the first quarter. 6 on the shot clock. Oakley misses.
They are setting the tone here early with their work on the boards.
Yeah, only a moderate advantage here, a slight one, but as the game wears on, it's one they'll definitely look to build on.
From 18 feet away, Charles Oakley grabs the miss. Williams picks him up. Fades and shoots. It counts.
He doesn't need to fade away on that move. He can go straight up, make it an easier shot.
Clark, their offense has been great here.
Yeah, I love the way they've looked, really strong and together.
Yeah, and very aggressive, too. Keeping the defense off balance with their ball movement. I like the way they look.
Wilkins dishes to Ewing. McDaniel. He's covered by Person. A fadeaway.
Boy, he had a good look there.
Got to take those when they come.
Pushing it up. For 3. And it's Miller missing. The Knicks with the lead. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And the pass to Wilkins. Now Ewing. Puts it up. Another miss by Ewing.
I tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
Fires from the line. That one off the back iron. He gets it up. Cannot hit. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. It's the Knicks leading by just 1.
Now the key has been the rebounding department in this club, dominating the paint area. And if this continues, they'll be in great shape.
Well, they've done 2 things. They've limited second chances, and they've been able to flex their muscle down low.
We'll be back momentarily. Thanks for joining us in this Thanksgiving presentation of the NBA. Here's Jackson, looking for his first bucket of the game. We've got Person. He's out there with Davis, and it's Miller in at the 2. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Knocked away.
Great defensive work right there. The quick hands lead to the turnover.
Deflects the pass. And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, Kobe Bryant, one of the best shooting guards in NBA history. But when asked what he wanted his legacy to be, he said, quote, "When my career is over, I want them to think of me as an overachiever despite the talent I have. Hopefully, they perceive me as a person who did whatever he had to do to win above all else. Above anything, above stats. If they say that about me, I'll be happy." And fellas, with his work ethic, it doesn't seem like a stretch.
No doubt about that. Thank you, Doris.
Well, Kobe, obviously a guy with so much natural ability, but with his renowned work ethic, not to mention the 5 titles, I think he is a guy who did a great job of realizing his vast potential.
And the first one at the line is good.
It was the Knicks getting swept out of the playoffs 4-0 by the Celtics, but don't think that the series was that lopsided. I mean, those first 2 games in Boston could have gone either way.
And he makes both free throws. Back to that Knicks-Celtics series, Clark. Boston had to come back in both those first 2 games, and the Knicks certainly made it interesting. They really did.
Yeah.
Steve, I know you enjoyed those and watched them.
Yeah, those were great games, particularly the first 2 in Boston. The Celtics had to really dig deep to win, and then once it was 2-0, it looked like New York just kind of let its guard down, and the Celtics took advantage. Jackson passes to Ewing.
Picked up by Davis. Ewing inside. Davis is there. On the basket by Ewing.
I really like the fire, the intensity that they're playing with now. They got off to a tough start there in the first quarter. They didn't shoot it particularly well, but they've played through it. They've been able to stick with it, and that, to me, that shows their resilience.
It's stolen.
He's been sloppy here offensively tonight, guys. That's 4 turnovers now.
Here's Jackson. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Here's Starks. It's blocked. Tipped. Stolen by Jackson. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. It's a tie ball game.
The finger roll finish. A little finesse for you, folks.
Kicks it to Miller. Over Jackson. And it's Miller missing.
Not the best shot selection there.
Boy, I agree. He could have gotten something better on that trip.
And here's Ewing. He's got 8. Five on the clock. New York needs to get off a shot. Here's McDaniel. Whoops, here's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Anthony's checked in for New York.
Substitution for the Knicks. Greg Anthony.
Here's Indiana now. And they go to the intentional foul.
I have no idea why he was fouling there.
And even the foul, I mean, you can't be wrapping guys up like that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. That's a meaningless play.
Here's Whitman. And the whistle blows. He decides to foul intentionally for some reason. Odd.
I'm not sure why you would foul right there, Kevin. That's obviously not the smart thing to do, so a mistake there.
The Knicks making a switch here. Mason's checked in. And he commits the intentional foul for the Knicks. Patrick Ewing's checked in for Mason. Wilkins comes in for John Starks. And it's Jackson in for Anthony.
Substitution for the Knicks.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game.
Well, you look at this Pacers roster, a nice young blend of talent and size and versatility. They had the flexibility this past summer to add some other nice players. So this team seems to be on the rise.
Here is Schrempf. Tries a 3 off the inbound. Indiana again missing. Ewing with it. Picked up by Davis. All sorts of time. Thompson with the rebound. And you know, as Steve was just saying about the youth and options for this Indiana team, we were already able to see some of that impact in last year's playoffs.
And that was so important, Kevin, for the team to get to the playoffs, to be able to show the fans that passion and hard work and competitive spirit and promise of the young players. And I think for the fans, it was a case of everybody starting to see that there's new hope in store for the Indiana Pacers going forward.
And he flushes it through. Sprite Slam Cam with the replay.
Boy, he's got enough hang time there to put a little something extra on that one. 2 scoops of ice cream after that.
Well, that's a play that's going to be remembered from this game, that's for sure.
I think that was more like a banana split, Clark. Tell you what, they were in full attack mode there on that fast break.
I agree with you, Steve. I mean, they got right after it.
Ewing kicks to Oakley. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. And the Knicks lead by 2.
Beautiful pass there.
Right side Davis. Goes up, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Davis has got 6 here in this quarter. 43 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Oakley dishes to Wilkins. Oakley a screen on Whitman. Wilkins passes to Oakley. Here's McDaniel. Knocks down the 3 ball. 5 points in the game.
And that's his first 3-pointer, so maybe that one will get him started.
Here's Whitman. Wilkins picks him up. Here's Schrempf. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. It's going to go on Charles Oakley.
Nice time to use that foul to stop the layup.
You know, if you can save just 1 point, that foul was the right move.
And making a change here, the Knicks. Good on both. Here's Jackson. 24 seconds left now here in the second. Shot clock at 6. Plenty of daylight on that shot.
We see very few mistakes from him at that end of the floor.
Whitman. And no good trying to get that one.
Well, Patrick Ewing in this one, he has 8 points, and his 2 blocks have given them a lift defensively.
Hello, I'm Damon Bruce. Can I interest you in an extra helping of NBA?
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. Here's Jackson. Setting the floor for the Knicks. We've got Anthony Mason. Jackson is out there with Wilkins. Williams picks him up. Releases from 15. The Pacers pull it in. Williams has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. From deep 3-point range, shot is no good.
What a rebound there. He goes up amongst the trees and gets the ball.
Here is Mason, looking for his first bucket of the game. Outside Jackson. Williams picks him up. Takes a shot at the elbow. That one wide left.
Now, he can't get that one to go, but that's a shot he'll hit more often than not.
Defended by Wilkins. Miller, the pass to Person. Wilkins against Miller. And his offense just hasn't been there.
They really need to start looking elsewhere, guys, because he can't get anything to go.
Person is whistled for reaching in. That'll be his second foul of the game. Patrick Ewing's checked in for the Knicks. Oakley comes in for Anthony Mason. Here's Wilkins. Back to Ewing. Backing in. 6 to shoot. Straight up. They rule this one goaltending. Count the shot.
That's where you like to get shots, inside and close to the hoop.
Here's Williams. Some firepower, Clark and Steve, from this offense.
Yeah, Kevin, how about the air of confidence? I mean, they
Yeah.
really look like they believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, a little swagger here from this team. They're in a nice groove.
Ewing can't hit.
This is not the start to the second half they wanted. Coming out shooting just 1 of 4. Nothing fancy for him on that jam. Just a textbook flush.
Clarkie put it away without a moment's hesitation. Here's Jackson. Pass to Ewing. Backs in. Shot denied. And they're able to recover. Another shot. Off the back of the rim and in. Ewing's got 12 in the game.
This game very well could come down to a few possessions, and if that's the case, rebounding could play large.
Yeah, in a close game like this one, securing the ball is so vital.
It's hauled in by Oakley.
I tell you, the D was really lax there. I mean, they know he really struggles from that range. And, you know, despite the number of turnovers, Kevin, they've still got the lead here.
Well, eventually, guys, you know those mistakes will come back and haunt you, so they've got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball.
Here's Miller. Over Ewing. And it's Miller missing. Outside Jackson. And then Ewing with the dunk. While we've got a sec, let's check out the Sprite Slam Cam.
There isn't anybody in the building that didn't appreciate that throwdown.
Well, Steve, that's as fancy a finish as you could possibly get.
A serious degree of difficulty on that one.
Williams kicks to Schrempf. Shot from the wing, and they will call over the back on the play. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game.
They've gone cold, and a smart timeout here to give them a second to regroup and try to get back on the right track.
On the change here for the Pacers. Davis is checked in. And a switch here also for New York. Starks is checked in. The Knicks leading by 7. To the inside, and it's Miller picking him up. Starks against Miller. Jackson dishes to Ewing. Clock at 4. Fader on the way. No luck. And it's the Pacers taking it the other way. Miller outside. Down low. Davis. Here's Williams. And the Pacers can't get it to go. 1:15 left in the third quarter. And stolen by Williams. Davis kicks to Miller. Three-pointer. That's good. Miller's got 6 points.
Well, the defense has to commit so much attention to him. He's just an important part of this offense.
Williams against Jackson. Starts against Miller. Shot clock at 5. With 1 on the clock. New York, no good that time either. Pacers trail by 4.
And a 2-for-1 opportunity.
Yeah, they've got to hurry. Step on the gas here.
27 seconds left to play here in the third. Tipped away. Out of bounds. And they retain possession. .20 seconds left here in the third quarter. Here's Starks. That is good. And the Knicks lead by 6.
Boy, what a great job of getting into the teeth of the defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's been their main point of attack. I mean, get the ball deep and try to score from in tight rather than rely on their outside shooting. I mean, that's a more consistent way to score it. Take it inside.
He misses the free throw. Second free throw, no good. He got it up. Miller got it off in time, but it's no good. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams score.
The Knicks, 29.
we get going here in the fourth, let's send it over to Doris Burke for our Sprite Spark.
No doubt for the Knicks, the spark has to be the man filling the lanes at the center spot. His play was fantastic there in the third quarter, so we'll see if he can continue to ride that wave of momentum as we head down the stretch, gentlemen.
All right, Doris, thank you. It's quite been a terrific game for him.
I agree with you, and we'll see if he can maintain it. He's been going full throttle thus far.
Well, the pace he's been going has been really incredible, and you wonder if he's got anything left here in the fourth quarter.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. On the court right now for the Pacers. They've got Miller. Williams is out there with Thompson. Then there's Person. And it's Williams at the point guard position.
3 straight buckets in the paint. They're making it look effortless.
Well, speaking of effortless, you'd like to see a little more out of the defense. So how about trying, guys?
That's good.
Fellas, they are heating up from outside now.
Yep, of their last 5 hoops, 3 of them have come from long range.
Oakley passes to Starks. And stolen by Miller.
You know, they're lucky to be leading here as much as we've seen rather loose control of the basketball, Kevin.
And, fellas, that's something they have to address. I mean, double-digit turnovers in just the first half, that's unacceptable.
Makes it, and the next one could tie it up. The Pacers making a switch here. And it's tied up with that one. Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Yeah, it's been really sloppy out there.
I understand that they're trying to be aggressive, but still, I mean, you can play fast but still play efficiently, but they're not doing that right now.
Here's Ewing, and he finishes on the layup. Ewing's got 10 points in just the second half.
Tell you what, guys, he's helped his team just about every way possible today.
Yeah, he's been without a weakness today, Steve. I mean, he's been excellent in every area.
Ewing with the charge. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Good call there. He got his feet planted. He was definitely set.
Yeah, that's excellent anticipation, Steve. He got out in front and was able to set his feet and take the charge.
And it's blocked. It's one-on-one. And he puts it down with authority. Spike slam Cam for another angle.
Now that's just rubbing it in, fella.
Throwing it down with style.
These folks are not going to forget that one anytime soon.
So it's Indiana now. It's a 5-point game. Back to Williams. It's tipped.
I think he baited him on that pass. Very savvy defense.
Guys, they've been getting it done.
They sure have been. I mean, really looking good and sharp offensively.
Yeah, knocking down the open shots and really getting a nice flow to their game.
Here's Person. Bangs home the trifecta.
Another 3, and we've just seen a barrage from long range here in the second half.
Well, they have come out blazing, and defensively, it's hard to deny that shot. I mean, that's a lot of ground to cover when a team spreads you out like they do.
And to change here for the Pacers. Here's Starks. Throws it down. And the official calls the foul. It may be a 3-point play.
Wow. No concern or regard for the big man at all. He just took it to him with that magnificent throwdown.
Free throw good. Starks. Here's Williams. He kicks it to Miller. Lets the 3 fly. No good. And New York takes it the other way. Starks outside. The 10-footer drained for 2 points. And the Knicks lead by 7. Here's Williams. Now, here's Schrempf. Passes it to Person. Fires from deep. They get it back. Here's Miller, and he sails in for the layup.
Well, I think sort of just playing this one out now as they get the last rebound. They really haven't had much success today controlling the missed shot.
A shot by Starks, no good. Now Schrempf. The pass to Person. Here's Jackson. 1:41 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Poked away.
Well, credit the defense, but you've got to be more careful with the ball.
Person no good. New York calls timeout. They're leading by 5. 1:24 left to play here in the fourth. Anthony Mason's checked in for New York. Anthony comes in for Jackson. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, I had a chance to find out what the Knicks coach was going over with his guys. He said to them, I don't care what the scoreboard says right now. This game is ours for the taking as long as we make every possession count. He's trying to keep their focus right where it needs to be, guys.
Here's Person. Battles through traffic and lays it in.
Kevin, that's what you expect from him. When the pressure's at its highest, with the game on the line, that's when he's at his best.
As soon as they made that steal, it was off and running.
Yep, and they acted on it, partner. That's an easy 2 points off the Pilfer.
And here they come. Here comes the break. Here's Mason. Yes!
Boy, coming through with the game in the balance.
Yep, a game-changing clutch bucket there.
Here's Person. No good. That would have tied it. Game could be on the line right here.
It's basically now or never for them.
With tough position. Number 24. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. It's going to go on Charles Oakley.
He draws the foul. Almost got the shot to go as well.
I'll tell you what, I love that body control to still be able to get that shot off.
You said it, Clark. They haven't really played competitively enough to stay in this game, yet they've been out-rebounded throughout.
No, they haven't completely out-hustled them under the boards today, and that's a concern. I mean, rebounding, as we've talked about many times, Kevin, is about... Oh! Now, that's a special order right there.
Not everybody can cap off a dunk like that.
Yeah, very difficult maneuver, but a tremendous one if you can pull it off.
Out of bounds, and they'll keep possession. And the ball goes out of bounds. Turned over.
That's kind of surprising. I mean, that's simple execution right there. I'm not sure how they missed on that pass.
Here's Starks. There's 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Well, not much of a choice there. They pretty much had to foul.
Yeah, that's the only option they had to try to get the ball back to even this thing up.
And they're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul.
Well, Kev, that took forever. I don't know what took them so long, but the coaching staff can't be pleased with that right now.
And the second one is off. Timeout called the Pacers. They're behind by 4. 9 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
Well, if they can get some points out of this timeout, they've got a chance here.
It's out of their hands. They don't control their own destiny, though. The other guys make their free throws, and that's it. It's over.
Here's Miller. 3 from the inbound. It's hauled in by Mason. And they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul. Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5. Perfect from the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Huge free throws there, Kevin. He just put this game out of reach.
And the Pacers call time here. They're down by 6. Just 2 seconds left to play in the final quarter. What do you think, guys?
Well, the timeout isn't going to save the game, but at least they can talk over a little bit of strategy.
Well, Steve, I mean, one way to look at it is if you've got them, you might as well use them.
So it's New York picking up the win. Both teams played well, but these guys had the edge.
Yeah, I think so. They were just steak knife sharp. Very on top of their game here.
Well said. Well, that'll do it for us. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, Kevin Harlan saying so long. And as we end the game, we bring you our Jordan Player of the Game.